Hello everybody. Today we are going to make a fall tree. We're going to start drawing our tree with the trunk. So in the middle of my paper, towards the bottom, I'm going to draw a line. And this line is going to be part of our trunk. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I have two lines that are sticking up. Now I need to make the branches. So I'm going to draw a line this way, a line this way, and then I'm going to draw two lines this way. And then I'm going to attach the two lines together so it looks like I have a branch going this way, a branch going this way, and a branch going this way. And now I'm going to add the leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make curvy lines for the leaves. And they're going to be curvy and kind of bubbly like a cloud. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my lines go all the way up to make the top of my tree. And again, those are just wavy lines. If I want to add another part to my tree, I can have more branches sticking out and then adding more of those wavy lines around to make kind of like a cloud shape. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And then what I'm going to do is add some more branches. You don't have to do this part, but if you want to look a little bit fancier, you can do this. So I'm going to draw some lines inside of those clouds, or those cloud shapes, I should say. And then off of those lines, even more lines. The more lines that you add, the better it's going to look. And if you go outside and look at trees, the leaves, they grow in big bunches. And they usually have branches in between. So I'm just gonna add another level up there. And like I said, the more lines that you add to the inside of your tree, the better. Okay. And now what you can do is add more wavy lines just to make the texture of the leaves. And remember, texture is the way something looks like it feels. So if it has a bumpy texture, you're gonna draw a bumpy line. And leaves have all those like curly lines in them. If you want to make some leaves that are falling off the tree, you can draw some leaves kind of blowing or falling off the tree. And if you want to draw the roots, because those roots hold the tree into the ground, you're going to draw some wavy lines on the bottom of your tree. And then you can draw the ground by drawing that line right behind your tree. Then what you can do is you can make the bark. So for the bark, you can make more lines inside of your trunk. And that's gonna make it look like bark. And you can draw some circles for the knots of the tree or where branches are cut off. And then I think I'm just gonna add a few more wavy lines inside. And then another level of leaves. Trees are usually shaped kind of like a triangle, so it's kind of narrow at the top and then it gets wider as it gets towards the trunk. And since this is a fall tree, I can't wait to color it in. I'm gonna use all those colors like red, orange, yellow, gold, and I can even draw some leaves on the ground. And to draw the leaves, I'm just drawing a frown line and then a smile line. If you want to draw some grass, you can draw some grass. And don't worry if your tree doesn't look exactly like mine. Trees grow in all different shapes, all different sizes, and it's actually better if your tree looks different. You want your tree to look unique or different. And like I said, the more lines you add inside of your tree, the better it's going to look. All right, that looks really good. So now I'm going to color. And like I said, I want to use fall colors like red, orange, yellow, brown even. I know it's almost the end of fall, so a lot of the leaves are almost off the trees, so that's why I have some of the branches that don't have leaves on them, or that are bare. So I'm going to draw the lines for my trunk and color them in. So I'm going to use a light brown. And don't worry about staying completely inside the lines. And I'm just going to kind of follow all of those branches that I drew, all those wavy lines. I'm just going to draw a few more branches. And you can add as many branches as you want. Now for the color, and you can mix the colors together. And do you guys remember when we did the scribble coloring? You could do the same thing here, just swirling your colors around, right around those branches. And you could use markers, you could use crayons, you could use oil pastels. I'm gonna do yellow first on this side of the tree. Then I'm gonna do some red on the other side of the tree. You can even go over top of the other colors and mix them. And then maybe I want to use some green. And then don't forget to color your leaves that are falling off the tree. I'm going to use the same colors that I used on the inside of my tree. So green, red, and yellow. I can add a few more. Okay, so now I'm going to color the grass behind the tree and around the tree. If you want to draw a pile of leaves that maybe somebody wants to jump inside, I'm going to get my pen and I'm going to draw same kinds of shapes that you would have at the top of your tree, just to show a big pile of leaves. I know when I was little, I loved jumping in leaves. Rake them up, put them in a pile, and then jump right in them. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with my colors. Kind of scribble it in. I'm using a lighter green too. I'm just gonna color in around my tree and around that grass. And it's okay to leave some spaces that are white. I think I want to add some orange to my tree too. Get all those fall colors in there. You can even color where there's no branches, because maybe that's where the leaves are really thick. Right, that's looking really good. And then I'm gonna add some orange down here, and maybe some orange leaves. If you wanted to color all the grass, you could, but I really want those bright colors to shine through. And since it's fall, if you want to add some pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns, you could do that. So maybe I'll add some pumpkins around my tree. Maybe I'll put one here, one here. I'm just using circles. I'm gonna put those on that line behind the tree, and then I'm gonna color them in one darker. Darker orange. And we already practiced making the pumpkins in our pumpkin patch, so you guys are experts at that. And now I think I want to, if you want, you can add some more trees. So if I'm adding a tree in the back, I'm just gonna draw it right on that line and use the same lines and shapes that I did for my first tree. And since this line, this tree is further away, it's gonna be a little bit smaller. And I'm just gonna draw that cloud bumpy shape around it. And if you just wanted one tree, you could leave it one tree. And then I'm gonna color it in. Use that brown. And color it in. And I'm just gonna make this one red. Okay. If you wanted to color the sky, you could color the sky. If you wanted to add more leaves blowing around, you could. More piles of leaves. You could have kids jumping in the leaves. So whatever you want to add to your picture. And make sure you use really bright colors. Those reds, those oranges, those yellows, even some green to make your fall trees. Because pretty soon all those leaves are going to fall off and you're just going to see the branches. And we'll talk about that when we start talking about winter and winter trees and our winter landscapes. But for now, let's enjoy the fall. Happy drawing. And I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with.